good. Thank you for coming out tonight. Yeah, you look fantastic. I appreciate you dressing up. I feel like I realized about myself recently that I like to look nice depending on where I go. I like to dress appropriately. Even shopping, like the store that I'm going to, right? You might have like a Walmart level outfit, right? I mean, you just run and get a few things. And then you just step it up. You got like a Whole Foods or something. You're going to put some jeans on. Right? You want to look a little bit nicer. That's when I realized one of my favorite stores to go into is Home Depot. Yeah, because not only do you not have to look nice, like the dirtiest person in there gets the most respect. Yeah, you can't go in there looking too nice, right? You get like a button up on, you got some slacks, you got dress shoes, you go in there. People are like, what is he, from corporate? What's he doing here right now? Right? Nobody thinks you have any skills if you look too nice. But you go in there, you see guys like ripped jeans, covered in drywall dust, he's got sawdust in his hair, paint in his ear. All the other guys are looking at that guy like, that's the guy. Yeah, he's doing it. That's like the king of that Home Depot. I would argue, in fact, if you need help, like don't look for the person in the clean orange apron. Not that you'd ever find him. No, you look for the dirtiest old man in there. That's your guy. You got a project, you're like, hey, sir, excuse me, sir. Hey, what kind of flange do I need for? I'll tell you what kind of flange you need. You're like, I know you will. You're filthy. That's why I asked you. I'll tell you what's wrong with America, too. No. Just the flange. You've done enough. Yeah, I feel like all I do is run errands. I'm always out and about. I had to go to the post office recently. I had to buy stamps. I don't know, something about buying stamps always makes me feel 1,000 years old. I don't know what, I'm always shuffling in there like, you got war bonds? You gotta support the boys in the Pacific. I had to ship a package though, and I was getting real big mob boss vibes. I don't know if anyone's been in there recently. I had to ship a package. It was $45.78, right? And the guy goes, $45.78. He said, would you like delivery confirmation? And I said, are you going to send the package? And he said, yeah. I was like, we're good. Yeah, I thought we just covered it with this transaction. Like, I paid you money, you're going to send the package. He goes, no, would you like, for another $6, we'll, like, guarantee its arrival. And that felt a lot like extortion to me. Yeah, all of a sudden his voice changed. He was like, I don't know if a $45.78, like maybe it doesn't get all the way there. I don't know. Maybe for another $6 it does. I don't know. Also, would you like your package to be stomped on or not stomped on? For an extra $8. Then I went into a coffee shop. And I got a coffee, and then I went to pay for it, and I had to ask a question that in my head sounded logical, but when it came out of my mouth, that sounded like a crazy person. Yeah, because I was like, hey, do you accept money? Yeah, that is a legitimate question these days, because a lot of places don't. You know what I mean? Which is confusing because you're like, no, I have the money that we use in this country. And a lot of times they're like, no, we don't want that. You better tap it, chip it, or swipe it. But I asked it because they had already made the coffee. And I was like, what do you do if I don't have a card? And the guy goes, but you do, though. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I do. I don't know. Doing good. I'm married. I got a family. Thank you. Yeah, my wife Miranda and I, we got 2 kids. One of each, older one and a younger one. Yeah, my oldest is 10, my youngest is 7. So if I seem a little tired or a little sluggish, it's because I've been up since 2013. It is crazy. I knew I wanted to have a family. I always do want to have a family, but my wife was definitely ready before I was. Like, as soon as we got married, she's like, I want to have kids now. When do you want to have kids? And I was like, here's a puppy. Anybody try that? That'll buy you a little bit of time. You're like, nurture that. But she was like, I want to have kids now. When do you want to have kids? And this is a real conversation that I had with my wife. I was like, we could have kids now, or, and hear me out. And I was like, what if we wait 5 years and adopt a 5-year-old? Checks out, right? I'm like, it'll be like we had a kid right now, but we will miss all of the hardest stuff. Right? She wasn't buying it. She's very DIY. Yeah, she wanted to make her own